I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the Falcons uh, doing that deal with Matt Schaub and getting him locked up for another couple of years to be Matt Ryan's backup?
I'm good with it. I'm a little surprised. I wasn't. I thought this might be the year. You cut a guy like Matt Bryant. This could be the year where they're going to move on from some of those aging guys and say, this is the year. It's time to move on. But obviously, they value him. They look at him more than just a backup quarterback. I do think they look at him like an assistant quarterback coach alongside Greg Knapp. Both of those guys have worked together for a while, and they know this offense inside and out. So, I think that is why this contract was struck. Now, one could ask, why didn't they just maybe hire Matt Schaub to be a coach? And I forget where I saw it, but I do think Matt Schaub, if he was going to spend time around the game, it seems like he wants to maybe get into broadcasting first, is what I saw a story. So I think, I don't know if the coaching thing was in the cards necessarily. So if you want him back and you want him back to basically be a pseudo coach, this was the avenue to do that. So, I am curious to see what the contract terms are going to be. Jeff Schultz from The Athletic, kind of in his article yesterday, said that the cap hit's probably half of what it was this past year, which was, I think, like $4.5 million. So we should probably expect $2 to $3 million for him. And again, backup quarterbacks don't necessarily come cheap. At least the better ones do. So for me, I'm fine with it. It does kind of go against the grain, though, of some of the penny pinching moves. So at that point, if you're going to look at it that way, it is a little head scratching. But again, I'm cool with it. If Matt Ryan, God forbid, was ever to go down, you want someone at least that does have experience, and Matt Schaub does have the experience that, again, it's going to be a steep drop off, but at least you're not going in there with uncertainty. At least you know what you're going to get. So I'm fine with it. Again, hopefully it is in that line with a $2 million per year type of thing. But yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I have similar thoughts on it. I think clearly the Falcons are looking at a veteran quarterback presence to sort of basically, teams tend to side on two sides of the fence when it comes to their backup quarterback position. They want basically a guy that's going to be an extra coach in the film room and on the practice field, or they want a young, talented, sort of developmental guy that they can sort of maybe, turn into a starter down the road or turn into a high-level backup down the road or something, or, develop for a couple of years and then trade for assets or something, like we saw Green Bay do for many, many years with guys like Aaron Brooks and Matt Hasselbeck. But clearly the Falcons are on the side of let's have a extra coach in there. And I think it makes sense, particularly given that Matt Ryan probably is going to play for another 5 to 7 years, hopefully. And so trying to develop a young guy is not necessarily something that's really, maybe in a couple of years they can sort of look to try to develop, the heir apparent to Matt Ryan. But I think for the meantime, having a guy like Schaub who can kind of step in and be at least a solid game manager, and then maybe sort of seeing what you can get out of Kurt Benkert or another undrafted free agent for the next year or so makes a lot more sense. So